Hey guys, what's up? It's Jake, and today I am back with lots of Dayz information regarding the past two status reports. I first want to apologize for not posting much recently. I'm one of you guys that's waiting for beta, excited about beta, and I'm also going through college, so I'm quite busy, but I want to be here for when the Dayz updates roll out and for when the information comes out, so I can provide you guys with videos like today's. So today's video is going to be about 15 to 20 minutes of solid information and footage, pictures, etc. Just lots of information to grasp onto regarding to beta or 0.63 of Dayz Standalone. Without further ado, let's get right into the information. In February 13th status report, which is what we're going to be talking about first, they actually start off talking about some great stuff regarding that they still are, I don't want to say working on the Xbox and PS4 version, but like it's definitely still, it's in development and it's functioning. Like apparently it's not going to be hard to go from the PC development to the Xbox development because they have apparently, they say right here, they've got great relationships with Sony and Microsoft. In fact, towards the end of the video, I'll show you a little picture of what actually is a little, just them proving that it works on the consoles because they have a picture of somebody playing it on an Xbox. Apparently, after looking further into it, they've decided to kind of scratch the idea of pre-made combos, which while they would look cool when combos come off, it adds more RNG to the game and takes out the controllability factor that Dayz's wanting to go to. So they've actually switched over to something I agree with, and that is basically giving the character to choose between light and heavy melee attacks, depending on even the weapon they're using. So your light attack with a knife is going to look completely different than your light attack with a baseball bat or axe, obviously. So that's really cool, and they said that as soon as they implemented it, they felt it was way more controllable, and they knew it was the right decision. There's a sort of odd-looking GIF here showing a few of the attacks just with the fists. They talk about the zombies again here, and they say that the primary goal with the infected is to update the AI from our 0.62 and older versions of Dayz, which were always quote-unquote kind of limited and never met their expectations. Like a lot of things haven't, but hopefully beta does meet a lot of these expectations. And they say that currently the infected AI is being heavily reworked, incorporating all the new animation systems, which guys, I continue to stress this in all my status report videos. The animations they're adding to this game are incredible, and you guys don't realize the kind of immersion that's going to add that to the game and the amount of smoothness it's going to add, just the amount of cool animations and smoothness to do with whether it's getting on ladders, the cameras, the guns reloading, whatever it is, the amount of animations being added are fantastic. They say the primary goal with these infected is to make them feel better on every level you can imagine, whether that's strength, sensors, luring, the aggro they have, all those things. I mean, you heard me say luring in sensors. Those are super, super cool. And they end it with saying, don't end up feeding yourself to the infected. See you in Chernarus, folks. Next up, there's some information regarding ladders, and there's really not much to say except you guys should check out the two GIFs I'm putting on screen now, showing some little, like I said, GIFs of them getting on the ladder and getting off the ladder, which if you don't remember from when you played Dayz, when you get off and on ladders, you kind of just plop onto the ladder and plop off the ladder, and it's really glitchy, and it kicks you off to the side in weird places sometimes, but they're making it smooth to get on and off, and even adding ladder sliding, as you can see here. And stay tuned, because later in the video they've actually added, I have about a minute and a half of gameplay of 0.63, showing them actually climbing up a tower on top of Green Mountain, and you can just see how cool this game is looking, how smooth it's looking, and there's actually some information later on about the performance that this game is going to be having as well. Okay, next up is a topic that is probably going to have a lot of people won't be excited for at all, but I actually think is really cool because I'm somebody that really loves, not necessarily getting lost in the world of Dayz, but I love seeing the attention to detail. Whether it's when you're running through a forest, there's a place on the map I can tell you. If you ever find it, let me know in the comment section down below, or if you know what I'm talking about. But there's a place in the map in the northern area, northeast, just kind of north area of the map, north of Black Forest even, where, or Black Castle, where you're just running through the woods and you can find an old rotting away cemetery with, 15 to 20 gravestones, or whatever they're called. Yeah, gravestones. And just like the old fencing rotting away, and the grass looks different, and you can see the tombstones. Anyways, and just that kind of attention to detail to find these things throughout the map, I love it. It just makes the world feel, I know we're talking about dead things here, but more alive, more real, way more immersive. And so this thing that they've added is tourist trails. They've been talking about these for a long time, actually, or not talking about them, but they mentioned it a long time ago, and they're finally implemented, and they will be in, sorry about the motorcycle outside, that's really annoying, but there's basically going to be over 200 kilometers of tourist trails, which is amazing. I'll have a bunch of pictures on screen now just showing some of what these trails will look like, and basically, it's just a way so you're not just running through bland forests all the time. They're going to have some trails to them. Apparently there are at least six different types of trails, whether it's sidewalks through cities leading to paths through the woods, through gravel paths, dirt paths, paths covered in patches of grass, whatever it is. Lots of variety with trail markings, 4 different colors of these markings. Actually, you'll see them on the poles here. They can appear on, like I said, poles, rocks, trees, signposts, whatever you can imagine. There's 93 custom directional crossroads signs. You don't need to read these, but here, at least you don't need to read them now. But when you're actually running around, let's say you and your friends are trying to describe where you are, you can say, hey, I'm at that signpost that reads, I don't know, Zagoria, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't really matter. But you're going to be able to have these signposts, like I said, 93 custom ones all over these maps, or this map, and it's just going to be pointing you in the right direction without having to do Alt-Tab and go to some immersive losing map website, which I know all of us will probably still do, but, you know, that's all right. And there's also going to be 2 new shelters added, so just any kind of new things added to the game, shelter-wise, building-wise, is always cool. In fact, they've added some new types of buildings to the northwest airfield as well, apparently, because if you guys didn't know, they've actually kind of redone that whole area of the map. The northwest and north have just been getting redone, oh gosh, for the past 6 months to a year, actually. We just haven't actually seen it in-game. So 2 new types of tourist shelters are being, 2 types of new buildings are added, them being tourist shelters, and there's 2 types of them, just to make the bigger trail crossroads apparently more interesting and believable. So they can support you during rainy weather or just get a bit of rest. Really, probably more for the rain or for aesthetics. But honestly, guys, aesthetics are huge, and immersion is huge as well. Pictures on screen of these, of course. Lastly for this status report, sorry guys, I'm stumbling over my words so much right now. I'm sorry. I have not done a video in a good little while, so I'm probably a little bit rusty. Basically, they go ahead and answer a few questions here, and they answer the question, will DayZ be released on consoles? Just a blatant question, which a lot of you know the answer to, but I thought I'd go ahead and throw it into the video here for those who have been wondering. And basically, the answer is simply yes. That's still a plan. They get asked it on Twitter literally every single day. You can go check their replies, and they actually answer it like every single day. I don't know why, but it's very kind of them. They're doing everything they can to kind of keep the community at bay. And as you can see, their answer here is exactly, I'll quote it word for word, yes. Xbox One version will be out this year in the Xbox Game Preview program. So they have said that by the end of this year on Xbox, you will be able to but try DayZ, not in its 1.0 version, but a game preview version on the console. And they're also still working on the PlayStation 4 version, and will provide more details about it soon. We are now on to the status report of the 27th of February, and they start off by saying that they're seeing a lot of new features being increased into the game, and while they have been getting, of course, some new bugs with this, as it always happens, they said that they're actually closing more issues than are coming in, which is a good sign, especially recently. So, and actually at the end of his this is Eugen here, thing, he actually says, I want to find it right here. He says, I'm very happy with the progress we are seeing, and I can't wait to play it with you. And then italicized, he says, with you sooner than you think, wink, wink. So guys, take that as you wish. But I don't know how they know how soon we think we'll be playing it. I don't expect it for, I don't know, a couple more months. So maybe it'll be a little less than that. They can't read minds, so I don't know how they're saying that we'll be playing it sooner than we think. But I take that as we'll be seeing it. I think we'll be seeing it before summer. I mean, if they're going to be throwing these kind of wink, wink messages in there, I really, my prediction is we see DayZ beta out before summer, or at least the experimental for that. So that's super, super cool. Some things they've been working on, at least that Eugen mentions here, is the ladders, which again, guys, I'll have some fantastic gameplay to show you here in a bit. Swimming, which has always been kind of meme-y looking, and hopefully the animations for that look a lot better of you getting into the water, swimming, and getting out of the water. The unconscious state is being polished. The damage system is being worked on, which, guys, there's some amazing stuff being worked on with the damage system that I so hope gets implemented into the game, and I will show you guys that in a bit as well. Basically with bleeding, penetration, and ballistics. And lastly in this section, they mentioned trying to find a good, quote-unquote, good visual solution to the particles regarding blood, like when you get shot or stabbed or however you get started bleeding. I don't know what you're doing, but basically, you know what it looks like when you get shot right now. You kind of just spurt out some blood, which, you know, if you get shot in the chest or the throat or, I don't know, a big artery, that does make sense, but it really doesn't in every circumstance, so hopefully they do find a good visual solution to that, although I don't think it should be the top of anyone's worries. And so now for the next like 30 seconds or so, I'm going to let you guys just kind of watch this gameplay of this guy climbing the ladder, probably less than 30 seconds. I'll keep it rolling though, the whole thing, just give you guys some time to visualize the fact that he's grabbing each handle himself, the getting on and off of the ladder and the ladder sliding. Keep in mind all that stuff and just watch it for yourself and just look how smooth this game looks to be running. And I don't know, I'm just excited to see it functioning, so here you guys go. Alrighty guys, so as you finish up watching that clip, which I hope you definitely enjoyed, I hope you saw or are about to see the part of him sliding down the ladder. That's so cool, and I think honestly that's going to be what everybody uses to go down ladders. I mean, heck, who wouldn't want to feel like a fireman as they did that? Anyways, now we're going to be moving on to the hit boxes and hit points, which I talked about earlier, and you might be wondering, Jake, why are you so hyped up about some hit boxes? Well, hit boxes are called hit boxes because generally, let's say from your shoulder to your tip of your middle finger or whatever your longest finger is like one big box, and if a bullet hits there or an axe hits there, it's going to do X amount of damage. It'll do a certain amount, and then there'll be a hitbox for each individual leg, or maybe both your legs, and then a hitbox for your head from, like, let's say the neck up, a hitbox for your chest, and maybe 2 hitboxes for the torso. I don't really know, but that's kind of how Dayz was before. There was a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different hit points before. And guys, I could not count the amount of hit points on this picture you're about to see for the amount of new hit zones. Check that out. Basically, now, not that they'll use each one individually, but they have the potential to. They say that each, like, part of the body should matter where it gets hit, because they say you could get shot almost infinitely in the big toe. They don't use the word big toe, but basically saying there are parts of the body you could get shot 10 times and you wouldn't die. I mean, literally, if some guy walked up to you and shot you in the foot, I'm not joking, 1,000,000 times. Not 1,000,000, you'd bleed out by then. But let's say 500 times. You'd be alive still, right? Like, it doesn't continue to injure you to death more the times you get shot in the foot. But think about every other game you play, every foot hit counts as more health taken away. And while I'm sure it will hurt you in the game, basically the idea is certain parts of the body won't drag your global health to 0. So what that means is, pretend you have 100 health. Getting shot in the foot can only drag your health down so much, and from there on out, the damage you take will be from not repairing your foot. So your foot will get shot, and then you'll start to take some damage over time from the bleeding, from this, I don't know, being injured and walking on a freaking blown apart foot. So you need to stop the bleeding and, patch it up with whether that's a morphine stick or what's it called, a splint or a bandage or whatever it is that they do. You need to patch that stuff up, but different points of the body are going to be able to have so many programmable hitboxes. I mean, heck, I don't know, the thumb hitbox could be different from the pinky hitbox, and that's the kind of detail that if Dayz Standalone hits correctly, that is what will bring this game to victory. And I'm not talking about the hitboxes only. I'm just saying if the detail of this game is done correctly, people will appreciate the heck out of that. If it's done bad, it's just going to be seen as a waste of time and stuff that they should have been working on bigger things. But I really think they're going to hit it right this time, because they know it's their last chance to get it. They've got everybody's hopes up right now. So as you probably finished watching, as I've been talking about this, you've been seeing these GIFs, and basically what you need to take note of is that the fact that body armor actually works now. You'll see that the amount of hits from the same gun takes a lot more shots to a guy with a chest on, or not a chest, but a vest on. And in fact, it looks like there's different types of vests that can take more damage than others, which we've already known that putting, let's say, stuffing your vest full of items or your backpack full of items can actually prevent you from taking as much damage, which is pretty cool. And keep in mind, these pictures are saying they look very goofy because they're just test environments, but basically to show damage models. So they look really cool. They have lots of potentials. They don't look really cool. Sorry, the features look very cool. Moving on to the next part here, and basically, I won't show too much of it. Basically, they've tweaked the lighting to make it slightly easier and more realistic to see at night. In darker places will just look, I don't know how to say it, supposedly better, but to me it actually, it may not look as good graphically, but the idea is that it actually is just easier to see and more true to real life in these areas. I don't know. Check it out for yourself. Go to the status report and test. There's a little slider thing you can slide left to right to check before and after. It's worth looking at, but I'm not going to include every single still frame of sliding it, and that is that. As I did with the climbing the ladders, this one I'm actually going to let you guys listen to the majority of it yourselves. This is basically the ambient sounds preview from 0.63, and is one of the coolest things, again, that just makes not only really just it's a big immersion thing. And when you run through a world, like picture back at when you guys played the most of your DayZ, I'm sure it was probably a year ago, or at least not recently, or maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago. We all know this game's been out forever. Basically, and as you run through the woods on your long journeys, like it feels dead. You're walking through a world of deadness, right? Like, of course, all the humans are dead and there's no cars going around, or at least very few of them. But you should be hearing birds around. You should be hearing the sounds of buildings rusting. And that was a bad example, but just hearing birds and animals and bugs, whatever these all are. Hearing trees, wind, all that stuff. And in this gameplay clip here, you're going to hear and notice the ambient sounds. Notice the sounds of the buildings, the sounds of when he's out of the rain, in the rain. You can literally hear the rain pattering off the roof they're under. You can hear birds to their left or bugs in the bush next to them. Like, it's that specific and that good. So pay some close attention, and I hope you guys enjoy this clip. So guys, after that, to wrap it up, basically I'll go ahead and include that picture I told you guys I would show you of what is basically the Xbox, them playing it on Xbox, which was just to prove a guy on Twitter who said, can we see a picture of the console DayZ, because you've confirmed it's coming to Xbox, but can we see an image of the progress? And basically they just said, it seems like you don't trust us, let's show you a little picture of it working. And there you go, not much to it except that it runs, you can see the A to open trunk, whatever, it's just to kind of show you guys it's there. And the last thing I want to talk about is the fact that there's some preview of another map that might be coming to Dayz Standalone. And we're not talking beta, this could be farther off, but the map is, I believe, called, oh gosh, I don't even want to say it because I can't remember the name of it. But it starts with N, it's like Namilsk or something, but basically, oh, here it is, it's called Namalsk, and basically, I'm not going to show you guys any gameplay because it's actually on another guy's channel, and I don't really have rights to his video, of course, but you can check out the DayZ Spotlight's Boydie, that's something like that, that's his name, and he interviewed the map designer, Adam, and it's worth looking at if you want to check out the Namilsk map. I might still be pronouncing that wrong, but at least I see how it's spelled. Anyways, guys, basically this map is a snowy and cold map. I don't know how cold it is, but it's snowy and more barren. I don't know, apparently there's a lot of support around it on the DayZ subreddit. Lots of people are very hyped up about the map. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap it up for 15 minutes of straight DayZ info, gameplay, and content relating to beta. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please consider subscribing and supporting the channel. Also, consider to check out my live streams. I love chatting with you guys. That's the best place to ask your stupid, small questions. No questions are stupid, but yeah, some questions are stupid, and if you want to ask me them over there. Or ask me them in the comment section down below. Ask me anything, comment anything. I do read every single comment. And I hope to see all of you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching.